Welcome to the most breathtaking natural wonder of the American Southwest, where ancient stories are etched in red rock canyons, where desert landscapes stretch beyond imagination, and where every sunrise paints a masterpiece in the sky that no artist can recreate. Today, we're embarking on an unforgettable expedition through 9 of America's most breathtaking destinations, from the mile-deep majesty of the Grand Canyon to the neon-lit excitement of Las Vegas, from the towering sandstone cliffs of Zion to the delicate arches sculpted by millions of years of wind and water. This isn't just a tour, it's a pilgrimage through landscapes that have inspired countless souls, challenged brave pioneers, and continue to humble visitors from every corner of the globe. The American Southwest represents more than just stunning scenery. It's a living testament to the power of time, the resilience of nature, and the enduring spirit of human exploration. Here, Native American cultures have thrived for thousands of years. Spanish conquistadors once searched for cities of gold, and modern adventurers continue to discover something profound about themselves in these vast, open spaces. As we journey together through these remarkable places, I want you to consider this question. What is it about wilderness that calls to the human spirit? And how do these ancient landscapes help us understand our place in the grand story of time? If you're ready to transform your travel dreams into reality, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. And don't forget to check out the exclusive deals on flights and accommodations in the description below. Your adventure of a lifetime is just a click away. Grand Canyon National Park. Carved deep into the high plateau country of northern Arizona, Grand Canyon National Park spans 1,904 square miles of some of the most dramatic terrain on Earth. Located approximately 80 miles northwest of Flagstaff, this geological masterpiece stretches 277 miles long, up to 18 miles wide, and plunges more than a mile deep into the Earth's ancient history. The Colorado River, our relentless sculptor, continues its million-year project of carving through layers of rock that tell the story of our planet's past. The canyon sits at an elevation ranging from 2,400 feet at the river level to over 8,000 feet at the north rim, creating distinct climate zones that support an incredible diversity of plant and animal life. From desert scrub at the bottom to alpine forests at the top, it's like traveling through multiple worlds in a single day. Long before European explorers gazed into this chasm in wonder, Native American tribes considered the Grand Canyon sacred ground. The Hopi people believe their ancestors emerged from the canyon's depths, while the Havasupai tribe, whose name literally means people of the blue-green water, have called the canyon home for over 800 years. The Navajo, Hualapai, and other tribes have deep spiritual connections to this land, viewing it not as a tourist destination, but as a living, breathing entity deserving of reverence. Their stories speak of the canyon as the place where spirits dwell, where the earth reveals its secrets, and where humans must approach with humility and respect. These cultural perspectives remind us that we are not just visitors to a scenic overlook, we are witnesses to a sacred landscape. The canyon's modern history began in 1869 when one-armed Civil War veteran John Wesley Powell led the first documented expedition down the Colorado River through the canyon. His journey was nothing short of heroic, navigating unknown rapids in wooden boats, mapping uncharted territory, and emerging with tales that would capture America's imagination. President Theodore Roosevelt visited in 1903 and declared it a national monument, famously saying, "Leave it as it is. The ages have been at work on it, and man can only mar it." In 1919, it achieved national park status, and since then, it has welcomed over 6 million visitors annually, each seeking their own moment of awe. The South Rim, open year-round, offers the most accessible and popular viewpoints. Mather Point provides your first jaw-dropping vista, while Desert View Watchtower, designed by architect Mary Coulter, combines spectacular views with cultural education. The South Kaibab Trail offers adventurous hikers a chance to descend into the canyon itself, though few realize that hiking back up requires twice the energy of going down. The North Rim, open seasonally from May to October, provides a completely different perspective. Standing 1,000 feet higher than the South Rim, it offers cooler temperatures and fewer crowds. Bright Angel Point delivers views that seem to stretch into infinity, while the more challenging North Kaibab Trail leads down to Phantom Ranch, the only lodge accommodation below the rim. The Grand Canyon represents the perfect intersection of natural wonder, cultural significance, and historical importance. Whether you're seeking spiritual reflection, adventure, or simply a moment of pure awe, this mile-deep masterpiece delivers an experience that will forever change how you see the world around you. Las Vegas, Nevada. Rising like a glittering mirage from the Mojave Desert, Las Vegas sits in a valley surrounded by mountain ranges in southern Nevada. At 2,000 feet above sea level, this desert oasis exists in one of the most unlikely places for a major city, where summer temperatures soar above 110 degrees F and annual rainfall barely reaches 4 inches. Yet geography has always been Las Vegas' secret weapon. Located along ancient Native American trade routes and later serving as a crucial water stop for westward-bound travelers, the area's natural springs made survival possible in this harsh but hauntingly beautiful desert landscape. Las Vegas embodies the uniquely American spirit of reinvention and the pursuit of dreams. Here, culture means the culture of possibility, where fortunes are won and lost, where ordinary people can feel like royalty for a weekend, and where entertainment reaches artistic heights found nowhere else on Earth. The city attracts world-class performers, from legendary musicians to cutting-edge magicians, from Broadway shows to exclusive residencies. This cultural melting pot has created its own distinct identity, a place where excess is celebrated, where the night never ends, and where everyone gets to be the star of their own story. Historical development from desert outpost to entertainment capital. Las Vegas' transformation from a small railroad town to the world's entertainment capital is nothing short of miraculous. Founded in 1905, when the railroad connected Los Angeles to Salt Lake City, it remained a dusty whistle-stop until the 1930s brought two game-changing developments: the construction of Hoover Dam and the legalization of gambling in Nevada. The dam project brought thousands of workers and unprecedented federal money to the region. Meanwhile, gambling legalization attracted entrepreneurs willing to risk everything on the desert's potential. Bugsy Siegel's Flamingo Hotel in 1946 established the template for the modern Las Vegas Strip, combining gambling, entertainment, and luxury in an unprecedented way. The 1960s brought the Rat Pack era, when Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy Davis Jr. made Las Vegas the coolest place on Earth. The 1990s saw another transformation with family-friendly mega-resorts like Excalibur and MGM Grand, followed by the ultra-luxury era of the 2000s with properties like Bellagio and Wynn. The Las Vegas Strip stretches 4.2 miles and represents the highest concentration of entertainment per square mile anywhere in the world. The Bellagio's dancing fountains perform aquatic ballet to music ranging from Sinatra to Celine Dion. Caesar's Palace transports visitors to ancient Rome, complete with marble statues and toga-clad cocktail servers. The High Roller Observation Wheel offers 360-degree views of the valley, while the Stratosphere Tower provides thrill rides 1,100 feet above the desert floor. Downtown Las Vegas' Fremont Street experience covers 4 city blocks, with an LED canopy displaying synchronized light shows that turn the entire street into an immersive entertainment environment. Beyond the casinos, Red Rock Canyon offers hiking trails and scenic drives just minutes from the Strip, reminding visitors that Vegas exists within some of America's most stunning natural beauty. Las Vegas proves that human imagination, when unleashed in the right environment, can create something entirely new. It's a city that celebrates the audacious American belief that anything is possible, where the desert blooms with neon flowers, and where dreams, both grand and modest, come to play. Zion National Park. Nestled in southwestern Utah, Zion National Park protects 229 square miles of otherworldly beauty, where massive sandstone cliffs rise like ancient cathedrals from narrow canyon floors. Located near the town of Springdale, the park sits at the unique intersection of the Colorado Plateau, Great Basin, and Mojave Desert, creating an ecosystem found nowhere else on Earth. The park's crown jewel, Zion Canyon, was carved over millions of years by the Virgin River, which continues its patient work of sculpting the landscape. These towering walls of Navajo sandstone, painted in shades of cream, pink, and red, create a sanctuary so profound that early Mormon pioneers named it Zion, their word for a heavenly refuge. For thousands of years, the ancestral Pueblones, Southern Paiutes, and other Native American groups found spiritual meaning in Zion's soaring walls and life-giving waters. They left behind rock art and archaeological sites that speak to their deep connection with this landscape. To them, these canyons weren't just beautiful, they were sacred spaces where the earth revealed its deepest secrets. When Mormon pioneers arrived in the 1860s, they too recognized something holy in these towering stone walls. They established small settlements and gave biblical names to the park's most prominent features. Angel's Landing, the Temple of Sinawava, and the Great White Throne. Today, visitors from around the world continue to find spiritual renewal in Zion's embrace. Zion's path to national park status began with one man's vision. In 1909, President William Howard Taft designated Mukuntuweap National Monument to protect the area's unique geological features. The name proved too difficult for most Americans to pronounce, so in 1918 it was renamed Zion National Monument, and in 1919 it achieved full national park status. The park's development focused on providing access while preserving the delicate desert ecosystem. The construction of the Zion Mount Carmel Highway and Tunnel in the 1920s opened the park to automobile tourism, though the tunnel's completion required the removal of tons of sandstone and remains an engineering marvel even today. In the 1990s, park officials made the revolutionary decision to eliminate private vehicles from Zion Canyon, implementing a shuttle system that dramatically reduced pollution and noise while allowing the natural sounds of the canyon to return. The Riverside Walk offers an easy stroll along the Virgin River to the gateway of the famous Narrows Hike, where adventurers wade upstream through slot canyons with walls 1,000 feet high but only 20 feet apart. The experience of hiking through a river while towering canyon walls block out most of the sky creates a sense of walking through the Earth's arteries. Angel's Landing presents one of America's most thrilling hiking challenges. The final half-mile requires holding chains while navigating narrow ridges with 1,000-foot drop-offs on both sides. The reward: panoramic views that make you feel like you're standing at the top of the world. Emerald pools offer a gentler experience, where waterfalls create hanging gardens in the desert, and the sound of falling water provides a soundtrack of peace and renewal. The Weeping Rock Trail leads to an alcove where groundwater seeps through sandstone, creating a natural shower in the desert. Zion National Park demonstrates nature's incredible artistry and power, where water and time have collaborated to create a masterpiece of stone. Whether you're seeking adventure, solitude, or spiritual renewal, these towering canyon walls offer a humbling reminder of our place in the grand sweep of geological time. Arches National Park. Located near Moab in southeastern Utah, Arches National Park preserves over 2,000 natural stone arches within its 76,679 acres of high desert landscape. Sitting at elevations ranging from 4,085 to 5,653 feet above sea level, the park occupies a unique geological zone where different rock layers have been exposed, weathered, and sculpted into formations that seem almost impossible. The park exists within the Colorado Plateau, a region uplifted millions of years ago, allowing erosion to expose layers of red sandstone, limestone, and other sedimentary rocks. The result is a landscape that looks more like an alien planet than anything on Earth, a natural sculpture gallery where every formation tells a story spanning millions of years. For over 10,000 years, people have found inspiration in this landscape. The Ute and Paiute tribes hunted and gathered here, leaving behind petroglyphs and pictographs that demonstrate their deep spiritual connection to these stone formations. To them, the arches weren't just geological curiosities, they were sacred portals connecting the earthly and spiritual worlds. While Native Americans knew of these formations for millennia, the first documented European-American exploration occurred in 1844, when members of a government surveying expedition noted the unusual rock formations. However, it wasn't until the early 1900s that prospector Alexander Ringhofer began promoting the area's tourism potential. In 1929, President Herbert Hoover designated the area as Arches National Monument, and railroad companies began advertising it as a destination. The monument was expanded several times before achieving national park status in 1971. Unlike many parks developed for scenic drives, Arches has always required visitors to walk, ensuring a more intimate connection with the landscape. Delicate Arch stands as Utah's most recognizable landmark and appears on the state's license plates. This 46-foot-tall freestanding arch requires a moderate 3-mile hike, but the journey builds anticipation for one of the most photographed natural features in America. Standing before Delicate Arch at sunset, when the red sandstone glows like fire, provides a moment of pure transcendence. Landscape arch stretches 306 feet, making it one of the world's longest natural arches. So delicate that geologists predict its eventual collapse, it represents the ongoing process of creation and destruction that defines this landscape. In 1991, a 60-foot slab fell from the arch's underside, reminding visitors that they're witnessing geology in action. The windows section offers easily accessible views of multiple arches, including the north and south windows and turret arch. These formations create natural frames for the desert landscape beyond, turning every photograph into a work of art. Fiery Furnace requires guided tour or self-guided permits because navigating its maze of narrow canyons and towering fins demands respect for both the fragile environment and visitor safety. This slot canyon system offers the most intimate experience with the park's geology, where you can reach out and touch 150-million-year-old rocks. Arches National Park celebrates the incredible artistry that results when water, wind, ice, and time collaborate as sculptors. Each arch represents millions of years of patient work, reminding us that the most beautiful creations often require both time and persistence, a lesson as relevant to our daily lives as it is to geological processes. Route 66. Stretching 2,448 miles from Chicago, Illinois, to Santa Monica, California, historic Route 66 carved a diagonal path across the American heartland that became known as the Main Street of America. This legendary highway passed through 8 states: Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California, connecting small towns, big cities, and everything in between. Unlike modern interstates designed for efficiency, Route 66 was built to serve communities. It meandered through the hearts of towns, past local businesses, and alongside natural attractions, creating a ribbon of connection that tied together the diverse landscapes and cultures of Mid-America. Route 66 represents something deeper than transportation. It embodies the quintessentially American belief that the road itself can transform us. This highway became the pathway for countless dreams: Dust Bowl families seeking new lives in California, African Americans escaping segregation in the South, young people seeking adventure, and families discovering their own country. The road created its own culture of diners, motor courts, trading posts, and roadside attractions. Each stop told a story of American ingenuity and hospitality. Neon signs promised comfort and adventure. Local cafes served regional specialties. Gift shops sold everything from genuine Native American crafts to the most wonderfully tacky souvenirs imaginable. Route 66 was commissioned in 1926 as part of the original U.S. highway system, but its golden age began during the Great Depression when it became the primary route for Okies fleeing the Dust Bowl. The highway gained mythical status during World War II when it carried military supplies and personnel to the West Coast. The post-war boom years of the 1950s and 1960s represented Route 66's heyday. Families with newfound prosperity and leisure time took to the road in record numbers. The highway became lined with increasingly elaborate motels, restaurants, and attractions, each competing for travelers' attention and dollars. However, the interstate highway system, beginning in the 1950s, ultimately made Route 66 obsolete. Faster, more direct routes bypassed the small towns that had depended on highway traffic. In 1985, Route 66 was officially decommissioned as a U.S. highway, though much of the original route remains as state and local roads. The journey begins at Lou Mitchell's restaurant in Chicago, where Route 66 officially started. This classic diner has been serving travelers since 1923 and continues to offer free donuts and milk duds to customers, a tradition that embodies the highway's spirit of hospitality. Oklahoma contributed more miles to Route 66 than any other state and takes particular pride in its Route 66 heritage. The round barn in Arcadia, built in 1898, became an iconic symbol of the highway's agricultural roots. Texas stretches of Route 66 featured the famous Cadillac Ranch near Amarillo, where 10 Cadillacs are buried nose first in the earth as a tribute to American automotive culture. The Big Texan Steak Ranch offers a free 72-ounce steak to anyone who can eat it within 1 hour, a challenge that embodies Texas-sized hospitality and bravado. New Mexico's Route 66 passes through Santa Fe, where Native American, Hispanic, and Anglo cultures blend in a unique southwestern synthesis. The Blue Hole in Santa Rosa offers crystal clear swimming in the desert, while countless trading posts sell authentic Native American crafts. The journey concludes at Santa Monica Pier in California, where the Pacific Ocean marks the end of America's most famous highway. The pier's carnival atmosphere and iconic Ferris wheel provide a festive finale to the cross-country adventure. Route 66 teaches us that sometimes the journey matters more than the destination, that taking time to explore the unexpected can lead to the most meaningful discoveries, and that the real America is often found not in big cities, but in the small towns and wide-open spaces that exist between them. Sedona, Arizona. Nestled in the Verde Valley of north-central Arizona, Sedona sits surrounded by some of the most dramatically beautiful red rock formations on Earth. Located at 4,350 feet above sea level, this desert town enjoys a unique high desert climate where towering crimson spires and buttes create a natural amphitheater of stone. The area's distinctive red rocks get their color from iron oxide rust, coating sandstone formations that were deposited in ancient seas and lake beds millions of years ago. Oak Creek meanders through this landscape, creating a ribbon of green that contrasts beautifully with the red stone backdrop, supporting cottonwoods, sycamores, and wildlife in this high desert environment. Sedona has become internationally famous as a center for spiritual renewal and New Age practices, drawing seekers from around the world who believe the area contains powerful vortexes, places where the Earth's energy is particularly strong. Whether you believe in such phenomena or not, there's something undeniably moving about standing among these ancient red rocks as sunrise or sunset sets them ablaze with color. The area's artistic community has flourished, attracted by both the stunning natural beauty and the town's welcoming atmosphere for creative expression. Galleries line Sedona's streets, showcasing everything from traditional southwestern art to cutting-edge contemporary works. The town hosts numerous festivals celebrating everything from jazz to film to Native American culture. Sedona was named after Sedona Arabella Miller Schneble, wife of the town's first postmaster. Early settlers were ranchers and farmers who recognized the area's potential for agriculture in the creek-bottom lands. The stunning scenery remained largely unknown to the outside world until Hollywood discovered it in the 1940s. The transformation from ranching community to resort destination accelerated in the 1980s and 1990s, when Sedona developed a reputation as a spiritual and healing destination. High-end resorts, spas, and galleries transformed the town into a luxury destination, while careful planning helped preserve the natural beauty that makes Sedona special. Cathedral Rock stands as Sedona's most photographed landmark, a towering red sandstone butte that's particularly stunning when reflected in Oak Creek. The moderate hike to reach its base provides intimate views of the rock's layered geology and expansive vistas of the surrounding red rock country. Bell Rock, believed by many to be a powerful vortex site, attracts both hikers and spiritual seekers. The relatively easy climb to its base offers 360-degree views of Sedona's red rock formations and the Verde Valley beyond. Whether you come for the exercise, the views, or the rumored energy, Bell Rock delivers a memorable experience. Devil's Bridge, Arizona's largest natural sandstone arch, requires a moderate hike through typical high desert terrain before revealing the dramatic stone bridge. Standing on top of this natural arch, with red rocks stretching to the horizon, provides one of Sedona's most thrilling photo opportunities. Oak Creek Canyon, often called Arizona's second Grand Canyon, provides a scenic drive through a lush riparian environment completely different from the surrounding desert. Swimming holes, picnic areas, and hiking trails offer cooler alternatives to desert exploration, while the drive itself ranks among America's most beautiful scenic routes. The Chapel of the Holy Cross, built directly into the red rocks in 1956, represents a stunning fusion of human architecture and natural beauty. This non-denominational chapel provides a quiet space for reflection while offering some of Sedona's most spectacular views through its glass walls. Sedona demonstrates that natural beauty and human creativity can enhance each other when development is done thoughtfully. Whether you come seeking spiritual renewal, artistic inspiration, or simply breathtaking scenery, Sedona's red rocks provide a backdrop that seems to intensify every experience and emotion. Death Valley National Park. Straddling the California-Nevada border, Death Valley National Park encompasses 3.4 million acres of the most extreme landscape in North America. This vast desert basin sits 282 feet below sea level at Badwater, making it the lowest point in the Western Hemisphere. Surrounded by mountain ranges that create a natural furnace, Death Valley holds the world record for the highest air temperature ever reliably recorded, 134 degrees F at Furnace Creek on July 10, 1913. The valley stretches 156 miles long and up to 22 miles wide, creating a landscape so alien that NASA has used it to test Mars rovers. Despite its forbidding reputation, Death Valley contains an incredible diversity of environments, from salt flats and sand dunes to mountain peaks over 11,000 feet high. Death Valley's name suggests lifelessness, yet people have found ways to thrive here for thousands of years. The Timbisha Shoshone tribe developed sophisticated knowledge of the desert's hidden water sources, seasonal plant foods, and wildlife patterns. They didn't see Death Valley as a place of death, but as a challenging environment that rewarded those who understood its secrets. The valley gained its ominous English name during the California Gold Rush, when a group of pioneers became lost here for weeks. Upon finally escaping, one member supposedly looked back and said, "Goodbye, Death Valley," and the name stuck. Ironically, only one member of their party actually died in the valley, far fewer than perished on other sections of their journey west. Death Valley's transformation from mining district to national park required decades of advocacy. Mining interests initially opposed preservation efforts, but the area's unique geological and ecological significance eventually won recognition. Death Valley became a national monument in 1933 and achieved national park status in 1994, when it was expanded to become the largest national park in the lower 48 states. The park's development focused on providing basic visitor services while preserving the stark beauty and scientific value of this extreme environment. Furnace Creek provides an oasis-like base camp with lodging, food, and interpretive programs, while the park's road system allows visitors to explore diverse environments without requiring extreme desert survival skills. Badwater Basin, the lowest point in North America, offers the surreal experience of standing 282 feet below sea level on a vast salt flat that stretches to the horizon. The hexagonal salt polygons create natural tile patterns that look like abstract art, while the distant mountains shimmer in heat waves that make them appear to float above the valley floor. Zabriskie Point delivers sunrise views that transform the Badlands into a golden sea of folded and twisted rock. The overlook reveals millions of years of geological history exposed in layers and formations that help scientists understand how the Earth's crust moves and changes over time. The Mesquite Flat Sand Dunes offer Death Valley's most accessible sand dune experience, where visitors can experience the sensation of walking across golden sand waves while surrounded by distant mountain ranges. The dunes constantly shift and change, ensuring that each visit reveals new patterns and formations. The Racetrack Playa presents one of Death Valley's greatest mysteries: rocks weighing hundreds of pounds that somehow move across the dry lake bed, leaving straight-line trails behind them. Scientists only recently solved this puzzle, discovering that rare combinations of rain, ice, and wind create conditions that allow the rocks to sail across the slippery surface. Death Valley teaches us that life finds ways to persist even in the most challenging conditions, that beauty can exist in the most unexpected places, and that understanding and respecting extreme environments allows us to discover wonders that seem impossible. It's a landscape that challenges our assumptions and rewards those brave enough to explore its secrets. Monument Valley. Straddling the Arizona-Utah border within the 27,000 square mile Navajo Nation, Monument Valley Navajo Tribal Park protects some of the most recognizable landscape in America. These towering sandstone buttes and mesas rise up to 1,000 feet from the valley floor, creating a horizon punctuated by stone monuments that have become symbols of the American West. Located at approximately 5,200 feet above sea level, Monument Valley sits on the Colorado Plateau, where millions of years of geological processes have created this otherworldly landscape. The famous formations are remnants of ancient mesas, carved by wind and water into the isolated towers we see today. Unlike other destinations on our journey, Monument Valley remains under tribal sovereignty, owned and operated by the Navajo Nation. This means visitors experience the landscape not just as tourists, but as guests of the Dene Navajo people who have called this land home for centuries. To the Navajo, these formations aren't just rocks, they're sacred beings frozen in stone, each with its own story and spiritual significance. The Navajo creation stories tell of holy people who shaped this landscape and left these monuments as reminders of their presence and power. Visiting Monument Valley means entering a living cultural landscape where every formation has meaning beyond its visual impact. While the Navajo have always known Monument Valley's beauty, it remained largely unknown to the outside world until director John Ford discovered it in the 1930s. Ford's Western films, particularly Stagecoach, 1939, starring John Wayne, introduced Monument Valley's dramatic landscape to movie audiences worldwide. This Hollywood connection transformed Monument Valley into the archetypal image of the American West. Countless films, television shows, and advertisements have used these distinctive formations as shorthand for the frontier spirit, wide-open spaces, and rugged individualism that Americans associate with the Old West. However, this fame came with challenges. Increased tourism put pressure on this fragile desert environment and on Navajo communities. The establishment of Monument Valley Navajo Tribal Park in 1958 allowed the Navajo Nation to control access, protect sensitive sites, and ensure that tourism benefits the local community. The Valley Drive, a rough but accessible 17-mile dirt road, takes visitors past the most famous formations. The Mittens, East and West Mitten Buttes, stand like giant hands reaching toward the sky, creating Monument Valley's most recognizable silhouette. These formations appear in countless photographs and films, representing the iconic American West landscape. Merrick Butte honors two prospectors who searched for silver in the valley and died under mysterious circumstances in the 1880s. Their story adds an element of Old West mystery to the landscape, reminding visitors that this beautiful but harsh environment demanded respect from all who entered it. John Ford's Point provides the classic Monument Valley vista that appeared in numerous Western films. Standing at this overlook, visitors see the same view that John Wayne and other Western stars gazed upon, connecting them to Hollywood's golden age and America's mythic frontier past. The totem pole, a 400-foot-tall spire of rock, demonstrates the incredible precision of erosion. This impossibly narrow formation seems to defy gravity, standing as testament to the patient sculpting power of wind and water over millions of years. Monument Valley reminds us that landscape can be more than scenic, it can be sacred, and that understanding a place fully requires learning about the people who have called it home for generations. It demonstrates how natural beauty and cultural heritage can be preserved together, creating experiences that honor both the land and its traditional guardians. San Antonio, Texas. Located in south-central Texas along the San Antonio River, San Antonio sits at the historical and cultural crossroads where Native American, Spanish, Mexican, and Anglo-American influences have blended to create something uniquely Texan. At 650 feet above sea level, the city enjoys a subtropical climate that supports both desert plants and lush riverfront vegetation. The San Antonio River winds through the heart of the city, creating an oasis-like environment that has attracted human settlement for over 12,000 years. This life-giving waterway continues to define the city's character, providing both practical benefits and recreational opportunities that make San Antonio one of America's most livable major cities. San Antonio represents the best of American cultural blending, where Spanish colonial architecture coexists with modern skyscrapers, where Tex-Mex cuisine has elevated comfort food to an art form, and where 3 centuries of history remain visible in daily life. The city's Hispanic heritage isn't just historical, it's a living, breathing part of contemporary San Antonio culture. This cultural richness appears everywhere. In the Mercado Market Square, where traditional crafts and foods celebrate Mexican heritage, in the annual fiesta celebration that transforms the entire city into a party honoring San Antonio's diverse history, and in the music venues where conjunto, mariachi, blues, and country music create uniquely San Antonio sounds. San Antonio's history reads like an epic novel of conquest, revolution, and cultural transformation. Spanish missionaries established Mission San Antonio de Valero, later known as the Alamo, in 1718, beginning 3 centuries of cultural layering that makes San Antonio one of America's most historically rich cities. The Mexican period, 1821–1836, saw San Antonio grow as a major trading center, while the Texas Revolution permanently linked the city to the struggle for independence. The Battle of the Alamo in 1836, though a military defeat for the Texans, became a rallying cry that helped secure Texas independence and made San Antonio a pilgrimage site for those seeking to understand American ideals of sacrifice and determination. The Alamo stands as America's shrine to courage and sacrifice, where 189 defenders held off thousands of Mexican troops for 13 days before falling in battle. Standing in the chapel where Davy Crockett, Jim Bowie, and William Travis made their final stand connects visitors to one of the most inspiring stories of determination in American history. The site reminds us that sometimes the greatest victories come from those willing to stand for their principles regardless of the odds. The San Antonio River Walk transforms the downtown area into Venice-like waterways lined with restaurants, shops, and entertainment venues. This below-street level network of walkways along the river creates an oasis in the urban environment, where boat tours provide unique perspectives on the city's architecture and history. The River Walk demonstrates how thoughtful urban planning can enhance both natural features and city life. San Antonio Mission's National Historical Park preserves 4 18th-century Spanish colonial missions that showcase the blending of European and indigenous cultures. Mission San Jose, known as the Queen of Missions, features rose windows carved by local artisans and demonstrates how Spanish missionaries and Native Americans created architectural and artistic traditions that continue to influence Texas culture today. Historic Market Square, the largest Mexican market in the United States, offers authentic crafts, food, and entertainment that celebrate San Antonio's Hispanic heritage. Year-round festivals and events make Market Square a living cultural center where traditional and contemporary Mexican-American culture flourishes. San Antonio proves that America's greatest cities are those that embrace their multicultural heritage while continuing to evolve and grow. The city demonstrates how historical preservation and modern development can enhance each other, creating places where the past informs the present and multiple cultures contribute to a richer whole. As our incredible journey through the American Southwest comes to an end, let's reflect on the profound lessons these magnificent destinations have taught us. Each place we've explored offers more than just stunning views. They provide timeless wisdom that can enrich our daily lives. These 9 incredible destinations represent more than just items on a travel bucket list. They're classrooms where nature and human history teach us about resilience, beauty, patience, and the incredible diversity of experiences our world offers. Whether you visit them all or just one, each destination has the power to change how you see the world and your place in it. If this journey has inspired you to explore these magnificent destinations, please subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell. Share this video with fellow adventurers who need inspiration for their next great journey. Your support helps us continue creating content that connects people with the natural and cultural wonders of our incredible world.